up a great analogy that I have heard you say regarding future earnings and past performance. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I put it this way to you. When we create a financial plan for people, the investment component is based on what has always happened in the past. We take certain asset classes and certain categories and we create a portfolio that will meet our clients' needs based on what they need their money to do for them, based on their cash flow needs, based on how much of the money they've accumulated, based on any income they'll have in retirement, whether it's a pension and Social Security, and we make up the difference from their investments. Their need for income determines how we invest their money. And again, we base it on how it has always worked long term. So our regulators would tell you, I have to say things like past performance does not guarantee future results, and that's true. However, as other people have said, while the past doesn't repeat, it certainly does rhyme. And so these different asset classes have behaved in certain ways, in some cases for hundreds of years, through all sorts of crises and all sorts of worries. Our portfolio that we use for growth has over 800 stocks in it. That's 800 companies that our clients end up being an owner of. Those companies do over 20 trillion in revenue. They employ tens of millions of people. They do business in every country in the world. So sometimes people will say, I'm very worried about what the president said, or I'm worried about a rule change or a law change here or there, or what about a terrorist attack? And they're not grasping the enormity of their portfolio. There's not much you can imagine that would cause 800 of the world's biggest companies to simultaneously and permanently lose value.
So truly global and less worried about what we might hear that the Federal Reserve is doing or what might be happening in Greece?
Absolutely. If you think of it this way, you have an ownership where you have 800 management teams of companies around the world that are working to maximize the best use of their capital. If there's a law change, if there's a taxation change, if something happens in one country, they will organically and automatically start to make the best use of that capital do something else. We don't have to worry about that. Our job is to watch the money managers we have picked who pick the stocks in your portfolio. So a much broader view of things. We don't purchase shares of the United States. We don't purchase shares of Greece. We don't purchase IOUs from them even. So we are owners of companies. The S&P 500 companies, over 40% of their business comes from outside of the United States. The companies that you might buy within a portfolio, a Bayer or a BMW or a Novartis, those are companies not based in the United States, a Nestle, but they get a lot of business from within the United States. So they're already global in nature to start with. The best examples people often bring up to me, what about if we had another terrorist attack? People don't remember, but it's very easily looked up. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was 9,600 on September 10th, and then it didn't open on September 11th, 12th, 13th, or 14th. By the 17th, the following Monday when it opened, people panicked. They had held up and stored panic for a week. The market went down over 20%. Less than 6 weeks later, the Dow was over 10,000.
A short-term decline.
A 6-week decline caused by the last terrorist attack. So people say, well, are you ready for the next one? I don't know if it's good or bad, but human nature tells us the next one will have less of an impact than the first one. All you had to do then, like all the other times, was not do anything. Don't just do something, just sit there. That's what we try to tell people a lot. We've got this covered. You just sit there. I'm Michael Rogan, the founder of Rogan and Associates Financial Planners.